Good. So I want to ask about that solution that you want to.
The solution is, first of all, that intellectual understanding of the divine books is necessary. The Muslims should also ponder over the Bible, because they have forgotten the Bible so much that they don't never try to study in academic circles. At least everybody cannot go, every Muslim is not expected to go to the Bible. It's not so easy, but at least the intellectuals can open the Bible and see it. I have seen many passages which are absolutely in conformity with the Quran, and some passages which support, in fact they prophesy the coming of the Holy Quran in such a clear manner that nobody can deny. For instance, I will give you one example, that the Holy Quran, 2000 years after Pharaoh was drowned, the Holy Quran claimed that his body has been preserved. Nobody knew it has been preserved, but 2000 years later, Quran claimed that it is preserved. And 1300 years later, in 1898, the body of Marmutta, the name of the Pharaoh who was drowned in the Red Sea, his body has been discovered and it is still present in Cairo. So this is a divine aspect of the Holy Quran, that announcing 2000 years later and showing 1300 years later, this 3300 years, and in this discovery of Pharaoh's body, it's not only the divinity of Holy Quran that is proved, but the Holy Bible is also involved in this. It's a day of rejoicing for Christians and Jews also, that even the Torah, which belongs to the Jews and is a part of the Bible which the Christians carry in their hand. In the Torah also it is mentioned that when Joseph was about to die at the age of 110, he directed his brothers and others to preserve his body and preserve it and take carry it with them when they will be rescued from Egypt. But the rescue from Egypt took 400 years. And 400 years later, when Moses was migrating from Egypt, he carried the body of Joseph, which was embalmed and put in a coffin, and it remained in Cairo, in Egypt. And from there, Moses carried it. And when the sea was divided, Red Sea, and with two walls of water both sides and dry ground in between, Moses carried this body of Joseph across the sea. And from behind, Pharaoh came with his army, and Pharaoh and his army were drowned. The two walls of water collapsed, drowning Pharaoh and his army. The beautiful point is, in the whole of Holy Quran, only one body is described as preserved, that is the body of Pharaoh. In the whole of the Bible, Torah, Zabur, Injil, etc., one body is preserved for a long time, and that is the body of Joseph. On the same day, within minutes of each other, one was chasing the other, in fact. When the body described in the Torah, Zabur, Injil, the Holy Bible, went across to the other side of the sea, on the same day, within minutes, the body described in the Holy Quran was found there and there only. So it was a meeting point of the two bodies described in the Bible as well as in the Holy Quran. Bible in fact prophesied that the body, the other body, that is the body of Pharaoh, the book in which it will be mentioned, that is the Holy Quran. Believe in that also, because we are both from the same God. We are both participating in this event of the divided sea between two walls of water. So this is one point, good for the Christians and Jews also to rejoice, and nothing to hide, but it is a truth of their own religion also, that the Bible, which the Muslims say has been changed a lot, but there are still verses which are still true.
Subhanallah.
And there is one small point, very interesting point, in the verse the B, it's chapter 16, in verses 68-69, Allah has mentioned that the female honey bee which creates the honey,
Yeah.
it has got many stomachs. Everybody knew that one bee has one stomach, such a small creature, not even two, but one stomach. But nobody changed this verse. Okay, there might be a grammatical mistake, some error, so why not change it? They retained it just like this. After 1400 years almost, in the year 1948, it was discovered that the female honey bee has got 11 stomachs. So this shows that there was no microscope in those days. That this book, the Holy Quran, has got such important points which human knowledge cannot encompass in their times. And it has been discovered almost 1400 years later that there are 11 stomachs of the bee.
Okay. So what is the
The last point, the solution. There were more points, but the time is short.
time is short? Yeah.
The last point, the solution is, if this intellectual effort does not convince you, Mr. Terry Jones, then there is one small method of reaching the truth. Instead of creating such conditions in which Muslims and Christians both will die in clashes, why not we enter into a Mohabila?
What is Mohabila?
Mohabila is a prayer to God to impose punishment, curse on the liar. No discussions will take place. I will say, and Terry Jones will say, it has to be accepted on both sides. Both will say that Allah may punish and send curse on the liar. So when Allah will send the punishment on the liar, the other party will remain the truthful.
Subhanallah.
So if the punishment descends either on Terry Jones or me, the entire world will benefit from this event. Even the Hindus may become Christians or Muslims depending on who will win. Even the Jews will change their faith. Even the Christians and Muslims will change, or Muslims will change their faith depending on who is winning. My feeling is that I am going to win, and I am very hopeful that the entire world will think of Islam as a true religion from God, and instead of fighting with the Muslims, in fact they will not be able to fight with the Muslims because they will no more be non-Muslims. You got the point?
Yeah. Subhanallah.
There will be no non-Muslims, so we will fight with Muslims.
With Muslims. Okay.
So this is the most peaceful method, and in Mohabila there is punishment which will come from God. It should be such that the hands of mankind is not seen. No bullets will be used, no bombs will be used. Somebody is standing and lightning will fall,
Okay.
or somebody is standing on the ground and will go underground,
Okay.
or some sudden event will happen in which the hand is not seen, of mankind is not seen. For example, Mirza Tahir, the chief of the Ahmadis, he was delivering Friday sermon in Norway on 20th August 1999. On the same day in the morning he had fulfilled the condition of Mohabila agreement with me. And on the same day, within hours, he was delivering the Friday sermon, and he could not deliver one word. Nobody could understand a single word. And a sudden emptiness came into his mind, which he himself agreed and admitted on the 10th of September 1999. So let us do this Mohabila, and you give your message to the world as well as to Mr. Terry Jones to undertake this peaceful method of Mohabila, so that the whole world knows that Islam is the truth.
Where the Mohabila will occur? I mean,
That's a good point. Because it's difficult for me to go to states and difficult for him to come to Pakistan. Difficult in the sense there will be security problems
Of course.
for both of us.
of course. Yeah.
And controlling the situation, it may lead to unnecessary more trouble. No Mohabila and more trouble. So it is better if he does a live coverage on TV there. I will do a live coverage on TV here, and we will manage the same time, and at the same time we will say that Allah should punish the liar, and then wait for the decision. And this is how I think a very peaceful method. Some few people will stand in the ground, live coverage of TV, and the whole world will be seeing. It will be a big ground and no underground dealing. because this will be the court of Allah. And if the Terry Jones is so sure about his faith, let him face Allah along with me. Amen.
So as you say,
Huh?
usually you used to say that know your faith before you are
Know your faith before your fate.
before you are.
Because after that everybody will know.
Yeah.
So it is before the fate, before the death, that you should know your faith, so that you are successful in the future.
Okay. Hopefully we will wait the response from Mr. Terry Jones, and we are hoping that Mr. Terry Jones will respond positively and he will accept this Mohabila. So till that time we are waiting, and see you by the next weekend, by the next Wednesday. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.